Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chat and Craft with Lorraine. It's Monday, September 22nd, and I'm coming on without any notice again, how I like to do things, to show you how to make a really adorable basket. Now, you might have seen pictures of these baskets on my Facebook page last Tuesday. It's a class that, the baskets were made in a Zoom class last Tuesday night. So I guess you would have seen them on Monday. My team member and friend, Betsy Dodd, showed everybody how to make these. And several people couldn't make the class, and a few other people have asked how to make them. So I thought I would jump on live and make this. So I was not at the class. I was away, which was why Betsy taught it for me. So I'm making it secondhand. My sister, who was at the class, Janlyn, she showed me how to make it. So let's hope I get it right tonight, okay? Let's switch my camera over and I'll show you one of the baskets and then we'll make a couple. So here is the small version of the basket. This was my prototype. So I used the retired daisy paper and I just tied a little bit of that mesh ribbon around it. And it's kind of like a basket. It kind of reminds me of those jack-o'-lantern kind of things we used to make as a kid. I have a whole bunch. I have 4 or 5 of these Dove chocolates in there. When you have nothing in, the basket doesn't want to stand or stay flat too well. But once you put something in it, it does a nice job of standing up. So this is the small size. We're going to start with a little bigger size. And for this, I'm going to use the Gathering Together Designer Series paper, which is one of the fall ones in the new mini catalog. And I absolutely love this paper. So I have 5 strips that are 1 inch by 8.5 inches. And I think you could probably make this even bigger if you wanted to. But I would have to play with the dimensions a little bit in order to do it. But I don't know, it might be pretty easy. It seems like whatever. Well, anyway, these are 8.5 by 1. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just make this one. And then I have one that's 8.5 by 3/4. This is a little narrower for the handle. I wanted the handle to be narrower. Now I want to see the paper on this side. I don't know if I should have it matching up or not. Let's see if I can quickly figure out how it would. I guess it would go like this. Well, I'll use, so one of these is going to be the band that's around here. Hi, Jan. So I'm going to use this for my band. So now I have to turn the others over. I want them all to be on the wrong side. Okay, and I'm going to put some glue along the top here. We're going to put 4 of these up here. So that's about 4 inches. So I'm just going to use this a little bit. I'm going to go to about right here with some liquid glue, my green glue, so that I have the ability to wiggle these. Okay, so I'm going to put them on and line them right up with the edges. I want the corner to be in the corner and the edges to be nice and lined up. So I'm just going to do that with all 4 of these. I have no idea if I'm keeping these in the same order or not. My sister, who taught me how to do this, is watching, so let's hope I get it right. Hi, Jan. Okay, so I have these 4. Oh, look at that, it does match. These 4 glued on, and I'm just going to give them a second to set a little bit because I don't want them to slide on me or to move. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to pull it over like this and put this down right here. So you can see here's the part I want to see. And up here on this band is always going to be the inside, the side we don't want to see. So you have to curl this a little bit. So I don't want it like that. I want it, whoops, like this. And you can see that the whole thing kind of wants to move on you. But try to get it as straight as you can. I'm going to hold that and count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to take the next one and put it right next to it and line it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see how it's crisscrossing and you want it to do that. And now the third one. Okay. And the last one or the fourth one. I'm sorry, I got to get my head around and in there to see what I'm doing. And you can see I have just a little bit left over right here. And I'm going to put that on just like that. So there is my basket. Okay, and when we put something in it, it will squish down a little bit, but isn't that really pretty? Now, I hadn't made this large size before, so I don't know. My focal point might be a little big, but we'll play with that in a minute. I see I have some other eyeballs. I invite you to say hello if you would. We're making these cool baskets. Okay, so that seems to be set pretty well. I'm going to put my glue right inside that for a minute to hold it down while I get ready to glue the handle on. And I'm going to put the handle on the inside, I think. I could cover up this seam. Sure, why don't we do that? I think I'll cover up the seam right here. And we'll just hold that on, get it nice and lined up with the edge. Hi, Julie. And then this one, I can do the same thing. I can put it on that side or I can put it inside. And I think I will go inside. I'll show you why in a second. Okay, and again, I'm just going to hold that for a second. Okay. And there is our basket. And like I said, I started a focal point. So I have a stitched circle that I used my Gathering Moments stamp set on. And I stamped gather and then one of the leaves. And I die cut a big leaf and then ran it through this new embossing folder that I have no idea what the name of it is, but it puts these really pretty, see if I can, little leaf patterns on it. So maybe it's a leaf pattern embossing folder. I'm not sure. But I think we can put this, I'll move it up a little bit on the handle so that it's got some room, but I think we'll build it a little bit first. So I was thinking of the circle on that and maybe a leaf coming down over there. Maybe a couple of leaves coming down. So let's glue those on. I die cut the leaf first, and then I embossed it through the folder because I was afraid if I embossed it first that the die cutting would smush some of the embossing down. That's the technical word for it, smushing. Yeah. Okay, so I only found my mini dimensionals right here, so we'll use those. And we'll put that on right there. Hopefully all those dimensionals are going to hit something. This would make a really pretty seasonal decoration on a table. The smaller ones could go on a place setting. Excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. Okay, let's see. And then I want to cover up this little seam here. So I'm going to put it on right there. And I'm wondering, do I want to poke a couple of holes in it and put a ribbon through it? I think if I knew where my stapler went to, I would staple that right on there. I don't see my stapler. So I'm going to use a little tear and tape. Except I don't have any tear and tape. I know. Oh, that's where it is. Hold on. Hold on. I got my stapler and my tear and tape. So I'm going to staple this. And I'm going to go right through, if I can do it, right through the gather and the whole thing. And I'll put my ribbon on top of that staple. Oh, I apologize. I don't know why I have such a tickle in my throat again. I think I'm going to use this Mossy Meadow in gold ribbon. It'll be a nice contrast with the other thing, and we'll make a smaller one in a second. Oh, here are my scissors. Okay, and I'm going to use my handy dandy bow maker. I'm going to go a little bigger than I usually go with this. We'll see. We'll see if it's big enough. And then I like to give it a little, whoops, angle. And I'm going to pick up a glue dot. And stick that glue dot right onto that area where the staple is. There we go. You have to encourage your bow to do what you want it to do. But there is that little basket. So I have some Hershey Kisses right here. So I'm going to put a couple of handfuls of those in. You can see there's still plenty of room for more, but that's enough to weight it down and to get it to stand up very nicely. So isn't that pretty? That would look really pretty on a table like that. Gather. All right, so let's do the small one. And if you watch a second one, you will be good to go. So this piece of paper is 6 inches wide, and I'm going to cut them 11/16. So 11/16 is one little line less than 3/4. Okay, so 11/16. 12/16 would be 3/4. So I'm going to cut 5 of those. Three, four, and 5. And then I'm going to cut one at about a half so that my handle is a little thinner. Okay, so I thought I would use a basket weave pattern. This is from the Woven Textures papers. So I thought that would be pretty cool. Oh, and the other side is nice too. I wonder what it would look like if you used more than one pattern, but I'm going to stick with one pattern. So the first thing we're going to do is put some glue on about half of this. We're putting glue on the wrong side, and we're having the wrong side facing up. Once you get this first one lined up really well, your next ones go on very easily. Just keep putting these on. So we do 4 of those, and we let those anchor on a little bit. And I'm going to put some glue on the second half here. And we're going to take this and we're going to keep it so that the wrong side is what we're seeing. And we're going to glue it down right next to the last strip. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oops, I slid off. I'm trying to pick it up so I can see that last one. Okay. I really like that in the basket weave. I think that looks pretty. Hi, Melanie. Melanie, this is the basket that Betsy taught everybody how to make on Tuesday. And I thought this was one of those things that it's much easier to show rather than write the instructions about. So here's the small size, and then this is the larger size. Okay. And it holds quite a few candies. You could put a little candle in it. I'm looking to see if I have a little tea light candle, and I do. Don't know if this still works. I don't think it works, but that would fit in there very nicely, and it holds it enough so that it stands up. Just a little battery operated tea light. You can see when there's nothing in it, it wants to roll. Okay, so now I'm just going to put the little handle on this one. I often like to have a little something at the seat when people come for a class, and this would be a perfect little basket to have there with some kind of a goodie in it. Little candy, could have a little ribbon sample on a spool in there, or a tea light even. Isn't that adorable? What can we put on that for a ribbon? Let's see. How about a little basic beige ribbon? Maybe I'll tie this one. Gonna tie that around it without squishing it. Let's see. Let's see what happens. That didn't stay very even. All right, so we'll go like this and wrap this one around. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this bow off live and up close. No. I think, let's try it. Let's make the bow this way. I'm going to go even bigger, even though it's a little basket. I'm going to go a little bigger. And maybe tie the bow on. Get on there. Tie the bow on with a piece of twine. What do you think of that idea? Will that work? Let us see. Oh, Fat Boy is saying hello to everybody. Hi, Carol. He must have known you came on, Carol, and that maybe your cat is watching. Let's see. I don't think so. We'll just use a glue dot, a good old glue dot. With a little bow. I'm going to put it right on the front. And I think that is just adorable. So we have two sizes of baskets, mini and a little bigger. And they're really fun to make. So I hope that you will give those a try. I think they would look great on a Thanksgiving table or any kind of fall table. And who wouldn't love a little treat in it? Kathy, you 100% could put candy corn. You might have to put a little piece of tissue paper. Let me show you what I mean. So maybe, I think candy corn might fall out, but what if we did this? I'm going to just cut a little square. You might want to cut it a little bit neater than this. But if you cut a little square of tissue paper, kind of find the middle and poke the middle in there, you could very easily put candy corn in there now. Let me switch that back over. You could put some candy corn in there, and you might see a little bit of that paper, but you'd also see the color of the candy corn, I think, through it. So very cute. Martha, you would love them. I bet you would make some of these. So please do go back and watch the replay and let me know what you guys think of them. Okay. Have a great rest of your Monday evening. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.